Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay B,
How's it going?
I am fucking great.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
On X, we are related by work.
Yes.
On Twitter.
On X.
I think I might have a DM stalker.
You do?
Fuck, I didn't listen to any of the new podcasts that I was talking about last week. But I did bring up the one on my Twitter that was like this fitness influencer.
Yeah.
Right? And I said he might be listening to the show because it was like I just followed him randomly after seeing a bunch of posts on him on my feed. He just puts out like simple exercises, like just like basic bitch shit.
Yeah.
Right? But it's good for me to hear. And I said,
do you practice any of his exercises?
some of them. You know what? Like, yeah, I'm not in all the way. I have my exercise routine.
Yeah.
I haven't. One like a bridge exercise I did. I kind of like my routine right now. I've just been adding more reps and doing other shit.
Yeah.
So no, I just like his message. I haven't really like broken down and done what like everything he's done because sometimes he talks about like getting more sleep, like going out for walks,
Yeah.
like mostly like said like shit like that and eating like not drinking and eating
what the
basic
fuck?
fucking. So these are things I know like I should do if I ever want optimal health.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to say I want optimal health. I guess that's what I have
What?
to admit.
Jay, you want optimal health?
Of course, we all do, but you don't do everything you're supposed to do for that optimal health.
Not if it includes Xing out drinking for.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Even going to bed earlier, like I've been trying. Like even, whatever. Like, so let me get off
Go
fucking
ahead.
course here.
Sorry.
Like I like his message. It's not like I do everything, you know what I mean? Like it's just better than all the fucking politics shit out there. And so a few episodes ago when I brought him up, I told you, and I said, yeah, he DM back, just Jay. And I thought it might've been a bot. And then I thought the way he wrote Jay with an exclamation point is like, that's the beginning of our show.
Yeah.
Like that's what I got out of it. Maybe he did like that.
Yeah.
And then I realized, and then you said a bot wouldn't know my name.
Yeah.
Right. And that got me thinking. Yeah. And then I realized it's not Jason, it's Jay in my profile. So he probably just got it from that. Didn't have to be from the show. I don't know. So you said, did you respond back? I go, no, why would I do that? And then I couldn't.
DM. He's sliding in your DMs.
That's what I get. I've never had a DM sled. Like, this isn't what I was hoping for, but so I was like, fuck yeah, why didn't I? Right? And so in this vein of recognizing new people following us and all that shit, fucking 2 weeks later, after like he did that, I just figured right back because I'm either going to do it then or never type of thing, right? So who cares how long it's been? So like 2 or 3 weeks later, I just wrote back something like, "Thanks for your posts." I mean, I can find exactly what I said, but I said, "Thanks for all your posts." Here, what'd you do? I go, "Yeah, thanks for all your positive posts," and that was it. And then the next time I checked, he probably responded a couple days later, but I didn't even think of going into my DMs, right? Like it's never happened to me before. And so like way later, he responds back like, "Thank you, Jay. Appreciate the follow," with a little fucking like a prayer hands,
which
right?
is actually high fives.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking look at me. I didn't do it. I got to write that down. That's high fives.
It is.
Get out of here. Do they have a pound? They have a fucking
I think they do.
a dapping?
They should. No, it's just faces you.
Oh,
I
just
think.
one. Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
At least it's not the thumbs up because I know that's a fuck you now. So I was like, wow, this guy, right? And so, and then not the same day or maybe the same day, I think a little later, he goes, "You into fitness yourself," right? And I told, so then I just fucking gave him a little spiel about me and like shit I've said on the show about like I didn't give a fuck till I was 45, and then I started losing, like I was over 300 pounds. That was the first time I started to take care of myself. I wanted to just, you know what I mean? Like say everything to this guy. And so I told him like that. And then I told him my current situation. And so, and then I also said, your posts about simple exercises and doing the right thing kind of helped me stay on track.
Yep.
And I say saying this shit out loud really, like keeps me, make me stay to my word. Most of the time. And I just said, I appreciate your interest. And so that was it. So I'm just like, that was like yesterday. So I don't know when he's going to, like get back or whatever. So yeah, I got like a new DM stalker.
Nice.
But like he has like a newsletter and all this other shit. it's not like I don't appreciate it or join it. I don't want to commit. Like, is that a fear of
But,
commitment?
yeah, it
or a fear of
sounds like
failure,
it.
or what is that?
It sounds like it, but you got to try at least take that step. You never know what it'll take you. It's not like you have to do anything, right?
I really like my momentum that I got going on now. I realized I could always use more help, and it's not like it's just like I'm not prepared to do everything this guy's gonna like say.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know like drinking bad is like, or drinking a lot is not good, and so, but I'm not ready to quit drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not even ready to like
Take a break.
do that for myself. You know what I mean? Like, or even going for walks. Like, I walk enough at work, or I do all these other things. Like, I'm really proud of myself. So, in the past like 6 weeks, like I've lost 10 pounds.
Nice.
And it's only from doing it like my way and moving up my exercises a little bit more. But for a while there, I was just kind of stuck, even as I was trying.
Yeah.
And I think your body like has that momentum too. Like, it takes it a while for it to turn around.
Yep.
Right? Like, for all the calories to burn properly, or what have you. But like, even like my consumption of stuff has slowed down as my weight has gone down. It's like part of me uses it to be like, oh shit, you can go get Harvey's now. Like, you had Harvey's last week and you still lost a pound, right? Like, what is it? And so I'll kind of do shit like that. And so when it's like when it was plateaued after I first started again, I was a little discouraged, but I just knew to stick with it.
Yeah.
I knew that the slippery slope, like, at least if I don't do anything, then I'm really fucked.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks ago, I started to feel like everything better, like the clothes better. I've been struggling at work. Like, it ties in with work in a little bit of a way. I finished that first fire truck
Yeah.
that I pushed back so hard to maybe not do.
Yeah. Jay.
What? Why you say it like that?
Because you did.
Yeah. So, but that's why I'm recognizing. Like, don't admonish me.
Hey, of course I'm going to admonish you.
Why?
don't
Why do you
know.
have to do that?
Just so that you don't make these mistakes in the future.
Why do you say that to somebody that's admitting that it was a mistake?
Because it's better.
Like, you're doubling down.
Yeah, it's better to double down when you've already admitted than to. I hate doing the. You should have done that.
That's true. Okay.
Right? I
Okay.
would say, yeah, I've been telling you this the whole time, and then I like that one way better.
That's what you're doing now.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. I get it. That's definitely
That's an angle.
no, but it's a truth. Like, it's a way. Like, you can do nothing, or you can do it that way or the other way. Like, so I guess, like, I'm not even looking for the praise. Like, I'm bringing it up in a way that it's not like I shouldn't listen to this guy all in.
No.
Right? And he's Dan Go on Twitter. And so, like I said, just repost other kind of, simple stuff, other clients that he's had. And so when somebody's got like 700,000 followers and giving you their DMs, like, that's maybe how he gets clients and does that. But that's how probably he's good at what he does, like showing that interest. You know, he's not taking any of those followers for granted.
Yep.
Right. And so I appreciate that. And it does kind of make my message stick on point. Not as much as like, none of this talk is like, I've never used the word future self in a long time. Right. Like, I've been stuck in the present me.
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of person, for me, I just concentrate too much on the, like, what could go wrong, or the negative, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I feel this bad or this good, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
Something like that. Like, and then when it comes to like somebody asking me to build the fire trucks at work, it's like, well, that looks like a lot of trouble. Like, I can do the rest of it with my eyes closed. I can half-ass this, which I think that's, you know what I mean? Like, my middle name. And then I get over that. Like, I go home and I think of it and I say, okay, you know what? Like, ties in with the exercise too, but with the fire truck, say, okay, you know what? Maybe I would like that. Maybe I do it. And sure, now it's like 3 weeks later and I finished it, and it has all the properties of what I missed from my old projects. I haven't been proud of myself for doing something for a long time. Even those one-offs, I'd get something out of it. But man, like, this is a fire truck. Like, I've seen them on the road. And so I'm like, I can point to that and go, yeah, that's what I built. And so Tammy heard me talk about it, so just bought me a Lego for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a subject at home and on the pod for like a month now. And so she wanted to see it. So after I finished yesterday, I just finally finished it yesterday. I fucking just took a video of it, right, and sent it to her. It's funny, she doesn't get, you know what I mean? Like, the scale of it.
I know.
Right? Like, it's hard. She
It
can
is
see it
hard.
big, and she's just like, oh, it doesn't have the doors on. You know what I mean? Like, she's not coming at it negative, but it's just like a raw, naked fire truck.
Yeah.
Right? And I go, yeah, they do all that. So she can't really tell the difference between this one and a smaller truck or whatever. Like, I kind of see it. And I talked about, like, this is an example for you. I told her how not hard is not the right word, but how difficult, whatever it is, how challenging building the ladder box is. Right? It's this fucking 172-inch long fucking 24 by 12 box that has to go inside the whole truck.
Yeah.
And it's filled with all these fucking plastic angles for them to slide their, you know what I mean? It's far removed from anything else I've had to build. So I've watched these guys build it for so long. I'm just like, oh man, this is going to be something. And it kind of was. But in the scheme of things, it's not as hard as I really wanted to make it be. Right? Like, it wasn't like, this is what we're saying. I'm looking at everything like, how hard is it going to be? When Ryan first asked me, I don't want to do it because it's going to be too hard.
Yeah, like I remember when Tariq first started it, he used to say all the time, he's like, once you do he's like, what was he? He was talking shit about Johnny. He's like, yeah, like Johnny complains and stuff. He's like, but like once you do the first one, it's all the same shit. It's 2 side packs, it's a floor. Yeah, some shit is more difficult and there's a lot of welding. He said echoing the same things you said, but he's like, once you do the first one, it's not really that hard. So I think now that you did the first one, I think you're gonna be smooth sailing from now.
Oh, I know it, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking feel it.
So you psyched yourself out of it for no reason.
I do this in life.
Why would you do that? You already know you've been there for a long time. You already know you could probably build these things. It's not like they're impossible. And you kind of had almost had a missed opportunity.
Yeah, well, I don't like. I'm asking you, why would I do that? Why do people do that?
I don't know. I don't do that.
You never do that.
No,
you don't have any part of that you do that, right?
No, I just don't do things I just don't want to do. That's just how I.
How
that's
do you
how
know
I
you-
categorize it. I don't care if it's hard or not, but if I just don't want to do it, I'm not doing it.
How do you know if you're not going to want to do it? If it's, you know what I mean? Like you're right. Like I like building shit and I like doing things, but I hate being inconvenienced.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not as dedicated to the whole craft of the company, like building a company. I just want to do my job and get out.
Yeah.
I've tried to admit like I do like how much do I do it for personal satisfaction? Like I had to be in this position to have these conversations with you, or like to I don't know, maybe I would never even got to that point. Maybe I would have just stayed that jaded like type of attitude.
Yeah.
Right? Because but like yeah, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But like having this conversation with you make me admit it out loud. Just like with the fitness. Like I can't say, you know what? Like, yeah, like maybe I'm not willing to do the sleep thing or the fucking alcohol thing. But I've drank it a lot less. Like I haven't drank 24 beers in the last like whole weekend. Like I don't have to go to the beer store this week because I
Nice.
didn't drink as much last week.
Nice.
Right? Like I didn't do it on purpose. It's just that's the momentum.
Yeah.
For me, the momentum can slip negatively just as fast as it can go positively.
Or positive is better though.
But I think it's harder to keep that positive momentum going. Like, I don't know. Like, it's easier to just keep eating chips and not taking care of yourself or taking the easy job than it is to say, give me that challenge. Maybe not for you. If you see it like, I'm always up for a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't look at it that way. Like, you've maybe had a long time of never going into that negative hole. Right? Like, I don't know where your negative hole is. I don't know where, I don't believe anybody doesn't have one.
Of course.
Right? And so whatever that level of self-hate or negativity drives me to like slip further into it. And same with realizing how great, you know what I mean, just doing the little simple workout before you go to work is. Like, you know what I mean? Like it seems opposite of just the self-care of sleeping in and hitting the snooze.
Yeah.
Right? But like the attaboy, the pet, that's where I get back to the future self. Your future self at 8:00 thanks you for getting it up
Yeah.
at 6:30.
Right?
That's not, never mind, a year from
That's
now.
not even distant future. That's
No,
like
it's the current self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but you have to jump out of that, right? Like it's tough, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like now, each set I'm doing 15 push-ups. It's not a lot, but like I had to start at 7, like 7 months ago or
Yeah.
whatever it was, right? Like just so
Yeah.
I don't hurt my. And then all of a sudden they just get easier, and just like that's what I do now, right? Like
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like and it just becomes, like I said, like easier to do, the momentum, and then. Like when it comes to the weight and the scale, like you have an opposite thing, but whatever. Like you're doing all this shit and you don't see the result on the scale or fucking in the video or whatever you're doing, but just know that, okay, 2 more weeks of this and I probably will.
Yeah.
And then your body starts feeling it too. So you can cheat a little. I can cheat a little bit and go to fucking, I'm not putting this on you. I can cheat a little bit and go to Harvey's and do, you know what I mean? Like eat shit and realize, holy fuck, I still lost a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's good.
Yeah.
Like it'd be better if I didn't have any of that shit, but you know what? I want that.
You want to have a little bit of it.
And
I
want
agree.
that, and so it's better for me like in that long game, type of way. But it's only when I see it. I was just watching something else that reminded me of like how momentum, like not. This is a different side. This is more of a negative thoughts in your head, like I'll bring with the truck. Like, oh, maybe I can't build the truck. You hear that? And go, come on, Jay. You had all the experience to do it. But I go, look how hard it is. Like I can do this easier ones first, and then I do it, and then I hate that I had that thought.
Yeah.
The thought has to. It takes effort for me to put in my head, hey, I can do that, right? It's taken me to see it, and you know what I mean. Like do it to realize, like not the whole right at the end go, but as I was doing it, like, oh yeah, I said to you like this is fun, like better than I thought it would be. Has all the properties of ownership and nobody else touched. You know what I mean? All the things
Yep.
I was missing from work before are right here. So yeah, I was that close to maybe not doing it, and I don't have to live in that thought, but because I did it. But yeah, see, that's a negative thing. I don't ever have to think that again. Like you said, you were this close to not doing it.
Yeah.
So now I start to think of my negative side.
Yeah.
Right? Like, geez, you know what I mean? Like that's there. And then all of a sudden that could like slip like further and further. This is one of my problems. I got some of this shit from watching the Netflix golf show because they're talking about like sports psychologists and stuff. And in golf, you see, I think I'm going to miss every putt. Like it's just like fuck because I've missed so many. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you have to picture it go in.
Yep. That's what they say about basketball. You have to picture the shot going in. Every time you shoot it, you have to, in your head, you have to see that ball going in the basket, or else you're just going to end up missing. And then the bigger thing is you get into a pattern. So you miss a basket, and then you start thinking, fuck, I'm going to miss this one. Then your confidence goes down. Then everything goes down. Then your muscle memory is out of whack and everything. So even if you miss 10, you still have to picture and think that you're going to make the next one.
That's the great analogy. Yeah, I figured in golf because I don't play basketball, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like for like the golf, like I don't practice. That's why practice makes perfect. Because if you're going golfing with no practice, you want to make the putt so you're not losing money to your buddy or do whatever.
Yeah.
Like you haven't done enough of it to go. So your physical attributes aren't going to be there. So the person that has the best mental attitude is going to have the best mental attitude.
Yeah.
Like I feel that when I was first like playing golf, I had no expectations of myself. I was so much better because I didn't, you know what I mean? Like know how to fail. I didn't like look, you know what I mean? I thought more like, oh, it's going in. And then like years and years of missing every now and then, or
You're
just
fuck.
like my negative side really comes out on that. And I'm only because I watched the Super Golf thing, like I can relate. And they show one guy that got a sports psychologist and one guy who was about to get one. And they're both different guys and doing different things. And one is me, who's like kind of reluctant to get into this. And one like had same kind of reluctance or a little bit less reluctance, but was doing it. And they showed all his success. And he's just showing him being on the golf course, like being negative to himself. You know what I mean? Like, oh, don't miss this. And then more like just seeing, the best version of himself. So by finishing the truck and doing that and the scale going down, like I really feel positive
Nice.
about some of my shit.
That's good though.
Right? But I came in and told you a story about like a negative space I was in. So it's not perfect.
But you came out of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
think
not
that's
like
the point.
you sat there in it, and
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so-
like I think that helped. Like it's always a work in progress with that, right? Like the only thing I tied in when I'm in this kind of thought, this is where I can use the future self thought as a momentum keeper, right? Like not you know what I mean? Like
not a killer.
yeah, not like a killer, like a future self killer would be like, oh man, I got to start another fire truck next week. But now it's like, fuck, I get to start my second one.
Exactly.
And I'll do all the different things.
Yeah.
Like everything is the same except for the way I'm coming at it. Right? Like, so
Well, I'm glad, Jay. I'm glad that you got through it. I knew you would get through it.
thanks, bro.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you enjoy it.
It's nice. I don't get bothered by anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like nobody I hadn't talked to Ali for almost 3 weeks until I was finishing up and then asking him this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
There was a lot of headaches about it, but it was very rewarding. Like, I don't know if I was even going to put it on her Twitter because I have like a little minute video of the finished fire truck.
Why didn't you?
I will
Yeah.
to share shit, but I don't know, for some weird reason I just didn't know if it was because it's not going to come across like I know it. It's going to come across like
work
Tammy got it.
related. We're work related.
All right, then it's going to be out there, man. It's going to be out there. How was your week at work?
Oh, it was all right. It was pretty
Short.
good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I only did 2 days.
So yesterday, you don't have to tell us what you
yeah.
did on your day off.
Didn't do much. We had like our couples therapy thing and stuff like that. Which she said to me, she's like, I don't usually do this, but did you lose some weight? And I was just like, had this big grin on my face. And Selena, like, she thought it was from stress from work. And so she's like, did you lose some weight? And Selena's like, no, that was intentional. And I was like, thank you very much.
Oh wow! Even more boosting you up.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, I just don't want to look like I lost too much. So I'm good now. I think I'm gonna try and stay I'm at 180.
I was going to ask, I thought that might make you feel a worse way when she said that.
No, it made me feel fine because I know that I'm at 180. Actually, I thought I was at like a little higher than 180, but when I weighed myself this morning, I'm at 180. So that I want to be like 185-ish. So now I'm going to have to start figuring out how to stuff my face more. It's such a problem.
Oh man. Can we fucking end this now, you faggot?
So like, I don't know. But yeah, that made me feel all right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I did yesterday. Work has been all right,
Well, the reason I've said you only worked 2 days is we had a work play day on Monday.
We did.
So how did you feel? How was that? Like my thoughts when I can tell you my thoughts when they first do it is just like, this is unnecessary.
I liked it.
Again, my more negative side, right? Like I said it when we were doing the fire trucks. Like 10-year-old myself would be like, what? They're going to pay you to go to an arcade? Like, why are you trying to find a negative in that?
Yeah, like, so I was at the bar, which you never went to.
Yes.
Jay. What the hell? Yeah, guys, Jay did not come to the bar.
Nope.
So I was at the bar. I was with Dave Medeiros, and I think Dave Dick was there. No, he didn't. He wasn't in this conversation. It was just Dave Medeiros, and he was just sitting there. So Dave Medeiros has turned a corner. Like, he's like crazy, way more positive than he ever been since I started.
Yeah, I've not seen that side.
You haven't? Like, I
haven't talked to him lately.
Super, very positive. So now it's like, good morning, Dave. He's like, hey, man, how are you? And before it was like, fuck, stop with the good morning. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Maybe it's you.
He bought us freaking drinks. He's like throwing $100 bills on the bar. And he's like, yeah, I'll buy them all drinks, whatever. And we're like, okay, whatever. Like,
I'm sad I missed it.
So he was talking about how he was just sitting there and he's like, yeah, this is good. And it was Alvin was beside him and I was beside Alvin. And he was like he's like, man, these guys, if we didn't do anything like this, everybody would bitch and complain. And then when we do something, everybody bitches and complains. Like, it's like, it took a lot of work to do this and some people just don't appreciate and then after I was talking to Sunil and he was like, man, it was, I'm kind of sad how it went in the beginning because it was kind of rough. But he's like, man, I hope people appreciate it because we put a lot of money in it. Like, he was saying how the $35 on the card that they gave us, that alone they had to pay for. That wasn't given to them.
Of course not.
So that right there for 100 people is $3,500. He's like, they had to pay for obviously the food. They had to pay for the team building thing. They had to pay for renting the place. Like, they had to pay for so much money. And he's like, so it's just like annoying when some people are just like, fuck, why are they doing this shit? Like, yo, we actually put real effort into this. It's not like it was some bullshit thing.
So what about somebody like me that I can appreciate the effort, and I'm not negative on it, but I don't think it's necessary.
You don't think it's necessary maybe because you've been there so long?
No, I'm going to look at it in a whole, like, just separate, like, thing. Like, I don't think they're going to get anything out of it as much as they should for that kind of money. Like, I'm not hating on it. Like, I appreciate the effort. Like, anything. Even the fucking, everything they try to do, you know what I mean? No matter how it comes across, like, I can appreciate the effort, but it just doesn't, you're not going to get that kind of like worth out of it. Like, maybe
it depends on what worth they're looking at because they really want, their goal is to really build a team, like have everybody team in because they're growing so much. People don't know people, right? So I already talked to 2 more people than I have ever before, and I talked to a lot of people, but now I talked to 2 more people that I've never knew their names, and to me, I was like, okay, so now I have a little more relationships, both people on day shift. That I just never talked to them before and never gave them the time of day because I was just like interacting and just doing the team building thing with people. So maybe that's just what they really want. They really want it to, instead of, because at our work, especially with departments and like shifts, everybody's just fighting against each other. They don't want that.
Okay.
That's part of their goal.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because I'm not. I understand that goal, and I can see how it's. But like, I'm not. I don't feel. I don't know. It's not responsible. Like, I don't know the result of that goal. Like, I'm like, I'm not. I'm not in the team building business. Like, I recognize my part in the team.
Yeah.
Like, this is why, like, I do. Like, it's good for that exercise. I guess what you're saying, but it's really hard to break those kind of clicks up.
Yeah.
Right. But like, it does take these kind of things. Like, it is like chipping away at a fucking concrete wall, and knowing that you're going to do these things and have it. I feel for them that it didn't go according to plan. Like, it was a shit show from the beginning. I didn't do any of the team responsibility things, like, because I wasn't forced to. Like, it wasn't that, like, because it was so unorganized.
Yeah.
Like, I would have if I was in the right spot at the right time. Like, I didn't hear any of those announcements. When you're saying you were at the bar doing that, like, I was just hanging out with other guys playing games and doing shit. I didn't even know you guys were at the bar fucking hanging out. Like, I didn't even know when they started fucking making the speeches. Like, they didn't really make those announcements. You said it came on the PA, so
Yeah, the team building came on the PA.
yeah, I didn't hear any of that, or I wasn't looking for it. Like, I never left the building the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I just got bored of the shitty games, and I just got we're here way too long. We had to wait way too long early. Like, all the fucking logistics of the whole thing were like a negative on the whole day. The thought of it is not negative. Like, it's not like I understand that, and I didn't get as much out of it like as you kind of did. But there's certain guys that I have just like limited conversation with and just a little general recognition. Then there maybe comes a little bit more of that, like seeing and just kind of having fun. But I didn't, like I said, like I don't think as many people got out of it like kind of you did.
I think it's the opposite. I think a lot of people got out of it because I've seen people that I never thought would talk to each other are talking to each other now. Especially like a lot of people were at like, well, there was like cliques, but like at the basketball thing, there was like 2 basketball games. Like a lot of people were there. Like the parts room guy, Kenny, he was there playing basketball. I'm like, what the hell? And like, obviously Albert always played basketball. Mike, he plays basketball outside of work, so he was always over there. Like a lot of people were over there, and it was very competitive over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then then there was like when they figured out how to get like so many points from the claw, everybody was like, there was like 20 people over there trying to amp everybody up to get points for the claw and get, shit falls out of the claw and everybody's going crazy. So I was like, holy. So like, I think it was a lot more camaraderie than I expected personally. I thought people were just going to click up. That's what I thought.
Yeah. You know what the problem is here is what I'm recognizing is I clicked up. Like, I didn't play any of that shit. I didn't do any of that. I didn't avoid it, but I avoid that shit a little bit like the plague. Like, I'm not ready to, as much as I'll talk and do, you know what I mean? Like, I retreat.
But that's the thing. You're such a social person. Why?
It's because it's work.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
I
not
don't like
work.
blending them.
But
like,
that's not work.
It isn't, but it's still work.
How many things?
I hate, like, we're just friends here now, right? Like, that phrase with that guy, it's not ever taken out. Like, we're not just friends. Like, we're more friendly than you might want to think. And you might get there more than I can, right? But those people will never not be, I'm never going to be with them like I am with you or other friends at work.
But you have examples that you are friends with people out of work.
Yeah, but the people, but not.
So who says there isn't more?
I guess me you're right. I don't know. Like, it can be. I'm a little resistant to it. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just the idea of whatever. I just didn't. I don't even know what I'm looking for here. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's more an example of I didn't have to participate in all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I almost wish I would have, like, when they gave us our things and the teams and all that, like, I was prepared. Like, were you at the last one at Palladium?
No.
You weren't here for that.
No.
Like, so we've done this before.
Yeah.
And it was fine. We had Daryl Sittler fucking come and talk to us. I'm fucking at the buffet line with Daryl Sittler. It's crazy. And it was fun. And I really appreciated the effort. And we were even smaller company then. And it was the same kind of deal. We got to play. We got to fucking race with people and do all this kind of thing. There was nothing really wrong about it. Like I said, like, it's a great, like, team. It does. There's no denying that it builds that kind of team, like, kind of spirit. But I'm just saying the fact that it was a shit show that I didn't have to be part of the team, that I missed out on even being part of the team. Then not everybody was even going to be on the teams
Yeah.
or whatever it ended up being. I just felt bad for them that it didn't go the way they wanted to. And I wouldn't have hated it any other way. I guess just by not doing that, I didn't get as much of it as I had to or would have.
Yeah, there was like, well, now that I know you weren't on a team, there were like 5 people who actually didn't play.
Yeah, so I don't see now. So part of me now feels like, so that looks like I'm not ready to participate in being part of the team. And it wasn't that way.
I wasn't going to participate either, but
You're
Nicole
out of your
forced
fucking
me.
mind.
I didn't want to do the team shit. I wanted to play basketball, but Nicole forced me. So I was like, fuck, because I was at the bar, unfortunately, at the time. Everybody was at the bar, and I thought we were going to have more time. So I was getting a drink, and I was with Danny. I was getting a drink with Danny, and I'm like, okay. I was telling Danny, let's go race. I'll race you, whatever. He's like, okay. And then his drinks didn't even come before they said, okay, the team thing. And I was like, fuck. I said, I don't want to do this. And then Nicole's like, you guys have to come, blah, blah, blah. So everybody there went.
You know what it was? Part of it, and why I wasn't at the bar, and I'm thinking now as I talk about it, is because I realized how much weight I've lost.
Oh, you
and
didn't
how
want
I didn't want to
alcohol?
start drinking on Monday.
That's fair.
Like part of me knew that I could just fucking go off the rails here, and it just didn't feel worth it to me. Like I regret that
Because I
decision
should have got
now.
some non-alcoholic beer.
You don't ever fucking offer that advice ever again, please. I don't want to end the show now. I fucking please kill me.
Oh god.
I think that's because I didn't want to fucking just dive in deep. Like I already felt a certain way, and this is stupid. Like it's my negative slide. It's just like, oh, I have to eat fries and chicken nuggets now because really that was there.
I was annoyed.
I know, but it's not again. Like it's just like wasted fucking calories when I was just like, okay, Monday I fucking don't do anything, and so I was forced in a way to go and fucking.
Oh, so then you should have went all the way in.
That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
Right. Like I even went home and I didn't work out. Like I pick and choose how fucking disciplined I was going to be, but I was like fucking. I didn't want to come home and start smoking the rest of my fancy joints before the weekend. I didn't want to come home on Monday and start drinking again and have bullshit food. I was willing to not come home and fucking work out because I was, for some stupid reason, I was exhausted. But because that kind of thing takes a lot out of me to try to be a part of this big group and be that social. It's weird. I know it's hard to.
But don't you think that it's like a missed opportunity because you've been there so long and you know so many of the higher ups, right? And the people who are respected because they know their job. Like it's kind of missed because you're technically, even though you're not in a position, but you're technically would be one of the leaders because you are there. And if people want to look for advice for something, they would look to you. If you were on the afternoon shift, they would probably look to you the same way they look to Ron.
I recognize it nothing but. This is ever since you started talking about it, not just today when you've talked about the bar, and the thought of going to the bar never occurred to me at all. And I'm trying to realize it, maybe why. And hearing you today, like it was nothing but a missed opportunity. It wasn't as negative. It was almost as negative as the shit I started the show with. It was like, I just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I should have. Like, I didn't recognize the just fucking be yourself at this place. Like, I don't know. I can't even go even further into it. I don't know what other negative thoughts made me not want to kind of be that person that day. But I should have. I should have embraced the day. Yep. I should have been at the bar. I should have realized this is a fucking fucked up day. I should have realized fucking like maybe get a ride home, or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just fucking dive in instead of. It's been so hard for me to not hard, but I'm so proud of myself for using Monday as my starting point to getting better again. That I didn't want to let this fucking retarded fucking play date. You know what I mean? Like get in my way. Instead of realizing this is like a bit of a Christmas in spring. You know what I mean? Like just like treat it as a special event.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're not going to be your best self now. And I don't have, it's not a negative, I don't have your ambitions to be better at the company. Like I don't recognize that seniority spot that you just said like now where I can commit, I can be just as one, like not commit, but be at one with everybody at the bar that you were just with. Like I've had fun with almost everybody there.
Yeah.
And I would have, you know what I mean? Like it's where I should have been in a sense where you've put your, I have that like position. And so I recognize it. Like I did not use that as an opportunity to recognize that even Dave is a fucking more positive person than himself.
Yeah.
Like I just have this bullshit passing connection with him, right? It's the fucking 40-year fucking history almost, but it's, you know what I mean? It's not as, I've used these opportunities way before. I played hockey with him, like fucking drank with him until wee hours of the night.
Yeah.
But not lately. Like lately, I've just separated myself from them because I don't want to be a joiner like that, like you are, for some reason, and I push it too far. So it is nothing but a missed opportunity. I regret it. If I could do it over again, I
can
would
at Christmas
play less. What?
You can at Christmas time.
How? What could I do different at Christmas time? Stay till 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
They were trying to say to do it at Palladium, do Christmas at Palladium. The manager was saying that you guys could do Christmas party here or whatever. Do you guys do a Christmas party? Yeah.
Can it be at the fucking the other place?
Shoeless?
No, the arcade. I go to an arcade, but not Dave and Buster's. It was ass.
Oh, like Rec Room?
Yeah.
Oh, Rec Room would be way better, man.
Yeah, so
Way
you're right.
better.
Remind me the next fucking opportunity that this comes.
Yeah,
It might
I
not be
feel
Christmas.
bad I didn't go say, Jay, let's go have a beer because, like, that's fucked up. Or Jay, let's take a shot of tequila. They had shitty tequila anyway.
We never hooked up at all.
Yeah, I saw you at the racing thing. I talked to you for a little bit. Then,
Like that's
Yeah.
how odd these things were.
yeah.
Like you were in a whole different group than me for the whole day. But I wasn't in any group. I didn't have anybody, you know what I mean? Like I had to worry about it all. I just fucking played air hockey with Sammy for a little bit. I fucking shot fucking Halo with Sean and the chick from the office and Caesar a little bit, a couple other people.
Yeah.
I never bonded with anybody new. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't forced to do that. And that's not my missed opportunity. I recognize that as a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
My missed opportunity was sitting at the bar with the people that I've known for decades
Yeah.
and just chopping it up and letting them know my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that I feel like it's negative, right? Like now, but it can't nothing but appear that I am not as enthused as you actually know I am to be.
Kind of made it look that you didn't want to be thing, but man, they know. They've seen you at Christmas parties and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like I'll never be as I can't see myself being as enthused as you.
Yeah.
But if I can change that course, like I have to remind myself in a little bit now, and I have my own different ways of like my relationships with people at work or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't think some of them are ever going to change, but I think some of them can even like be better out of work,
Yeah.
context wise.
It's like you and your buddy K.
Well, that's a whole brand new thing. Like
Right?
I didn't even know he was gone for weeks. I was
Yeah.
like, where's my buddy K?
Uh,
That's a result of me staying late. Like that's
talking to somebody you wouldn't normally talk to.
But how much of that is like he's like you? Like he had to come to me first.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go to him and say, "Hey, do you like this shirt?" He had to come to me and say, "Hey, Breaking Bad shirt, right?" And then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's good and then it was back and forth. Even like you said before, because I'm there late, like with the people that are worthwhile talking to on your night shift, like they have a better opinion of me than some other people because they've actually talked to me.
Yeah.
They've done other shit. Like Ganesh guy, he came into the change room like just on Thursday, and he had a fucking long piece of tape like hanging off of his fucking butt, off the fucking jeans or whatever. I go, hey man, you got something on your bum there. And he's thanks for telling me. And I don't know, maybe you wanted it there or something fucking with you. But you know what I mean? Like it was just a simpler interaction that we've already had just other simple interactions.
Yeah.
So we could joke back and forth, really basic shit. So yeah, like I'm not trying to further that shit. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But they have to come to me with that. Like that's sorry. I only bring that up. I initiate that conversation because I've had other bullshit conversations with him like that. And I think it's funny. You know what I mean? Like if it was the tall guy on your shift, I wouldn't have fucking said a word. I'd be like,
Yeah.
look, this clown's going to walk out with fucking tape on his ass. Because I don't care about him
Yeah.
at all. Right?
Yeah.
Actually might not like, care about him. So that's on the other person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the initiator of that.
But you can be.
But we're not talking about that.
No.
We're not talking about that. Like, yes, like, yeah, like I think when we come to this party thing, like I concentrated too much on on what I don't want to do than what I could do, the opportunity. But I actually never even thought of it until that minute that you said it now, right? I just didn't realize like anything like that until we talked about it.
Yeah.
I just like thought of it in a way like, oh, it was great. Oh, I appreciate what they're doing. Oh, it's too bad it didn't work out, but okay, it is what it is. right?
Well, I'm going to encourage you to try and be more involved.
Yeah, it's on you. You have to be a little bit more help. There was two fucking.
Quickly, because
Yeah, please.
they're really trying to make an effort to involve everybody and have like from the office. They're really trying to make an effort to make everything cohesive. So I'm going to encourage you to,
You know what I'm going to
be
do?
ahead of everybody else with that.
You know what I'm going to do? This first time, this is a start. It's not a bit. When the fucking girls that I don't know that come from the office for the 50-50,
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
Oh shit.
If they don't go around anymore, then that's fine. But if they come up, I'm going to, instead of being the person that they might not even ask anymore,
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Right? Like that's a little start. Like it's
Yeah.
not, because it's not really who I am. It's who I present, but it's not who I am. But so I'll agree to that kind of concept,
Nice.
because those aren't missed opportunities like we're talking about now.
Yeah.
But it is a way to show that I am not who I represent most times in that kind of way,
Yeah.
right? Like it is more of this social aspect. Again, like person like Ryan can know, might not have to talk to me for fucking ever, but all you got to do is ask me a question,
And that's
then
it.
I'm done. You know what I mean? Like you
Yep.
can't shut me up.
Yep.
So that's something, but that's them. Like that's Kay coming and asking me something.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I mean? Like I'm not the initiator. I wasn't the initiator of this. I'm not the initiator of anything.
Okay.
But that's on me. I have to come and do stuff. But there was a couple funny things when they're giving the speech before we went. There was like this, like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Okay, so there's gonna be no work-related stuff going on
Yes.
today. And then we're fucking like looking over each other at the crowd, fucking laughing.
Oh my god.
And then the second funniest thing was when I got wallet shamed.
Oh yes, that was hilarious. Oh my god. I had so much to say, but I'm like, I'm leaving this one alone.
Well, you could have. You would have had to just say why but you could have fucking. You
Nothing I
didn't
haven't
dive
said
in.
before.
That's
Nothing
a
I
missed
haven't said
opportunity.
before. It is, but I was like, let them have.
It's all been said before. Yeah, I had nothing. I was retreating my shell.
Did you consider changing your
Oh
wallet?
yeah,
yet?
I know.
Yeah?
I should have considered. I haven't yet, but I've
What?
considered. I'm a little slow on the uptake, man. I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Oh man,
That's hilarious. So we saw that. So that was kind of fun. So like I said, this is kind of part of that, like switching the momentum. You know what I mean? Like doing it. Like I know it's in the self-care part. This work truck, I'll put it on Twitter and show. Like I'm really happy with that way it came out.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I got out of my way with that. And like I said, like just kind of keeping that kind of positive thoughts. I don't think I had this conversation with you. I think I had it with Tammy with something. This is a little side. We're moving on here, but we never had like a superpower talk. Like, what kind of superpower would you like to have?
No.
Okay, so what kind of superpower would you like to have if you could have a superpower?
I'm
going to say for me, my instincts would be to be like to fly or to be invisible.
Yeah, that's like one of mine. But like it depends on like, are we talking about superpower for superhero or superpower in just general life?
I don't know. Like, again, this is a very vague thought.
Yeah.
I think where I heard it was somebody on TV or something might have said if they could have a superpower, it'd be like if they could actually know what people were thinking.
That's what I was gonna say.
So
Read people's thoughts.
at the beginning, I would agree with you, but I think that would be the worst one to have
Why?
because you're always going to know what people think.
That's good.
Like, I don't know if there's like a tap to like to turn it off.
well, yeah, that's what I would assume, that you can control it in some
I don't know if
way.
you
Just
can-
like you can control flying, or you can
Okay.
control being invisible or not.
That's a good point.
You know, that's what I would. Because if you were just like what's that show? What Women Want.
Yeah.
If it was like that and you're just constantly hearing, you would probably go insane.
That's the line I was thinking. Like, you're
Yeah.
right. Okay, if you could turn it, because I'm obviously thinking you could turn all the other ones on and off.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But because this is where it's coming from. It was like my initial thought was, oh yeah, but then I was like, man, that might drive me crazy. Like, I don't know if it's really good to know what everybody's really thinking.
In the moment, like that girl from
The Boys?
The Boys, but the V one.
Oh, I see. I missed the whole V. I didn't watch
Oh,
the
you
V.
have. So I can't talk. Are you going to watch it?
Should I?
It's just as good as The Boys.
Yeah.
It's just.
We
as
watched
good
like
as The Boys.
2 or 3 episodes. So I know the little girl has to puke to shrink herself.
Yeah.
It seemed woke.
Yeah, but that's the boys in general.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Right.
So you can
yeah, it
spoil
is
a
very
bit. You
wo-
can spoil enough.
It is very woke. So there's this one girl who she'll touch your hand.
Oh, yeah,
and she
yeah,
can,
yeah.
I think she can change what you're thinking, but she'll know what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, so something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, I agree to that. I think my first one would be to heal myself and other people.
Heal yourself.
Yeah, like I would rather
You
have.
make a boatload of money.
That's not what. So your superpower is to make money.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, like going through walls would be one of them. That would be great.
Like invisible wise.
Just I don't know if it's invisible or not, but just to be able to go through a wall and be in the bank every day, be like,
Man, to heal yourself, you wouldn't need money,
yeah, true.
right? Like it wouldn't matter. Like you wouldn't get like ever go hungry. Like you can do. Like I just thought of like It's again, it's a stupid.
But then, how long
concept.
do you want to live? How long do you want
That's
to go?
another problem. I don't know.
Then it's suicide if you die.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you see all these people because obviously everybody would just want to live forever, and you watch these shows where these vampires have been around for fucking 400 years,
And they're like,
they
oh
hate
my
it.
god.
You fucking watch fucking Invincible, and you know what I mean? Like he's fucking Omni-Man. Like everybody you know is gonna die thousands and thousands of times over and
Yeah.
over again, and like as a concept, you can just imagine. Well, I can get over that, but can you?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you really can. I think it'd be torture. In a way, like torture, like, oh, this, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess you're right. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, I wouldn't want this person to, like, the thought they're thinking to not be what I think they're thinking.
Yeah.
But then you're just, like, living in a lie.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what they're
exactly.
thinking, then you don't really want them to be your friend or you get whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I've actually, that's a little bit more valuable than I would have thought. But as a kid, like, it's always very selfish. Even healing yourself is selfish, right? You can heal other people too, I guess, right? But like Wolverine could heal himself, but he's not healing anybody else.
No, he's flipping you off.
Right? Yeah, but so I would my mind went from being like what people thought, but yeah, it's just weird. It was invisible. I think invisible is the one.
Invisible's in the one. What would be the first thing you would do if you were invisible? Like, what would you do with that?
That's true. I don't know. Like, see, when you're a kid, you're just going to the women's change room.
Yeah, even now.
I might make a visit over there now too, but I don't know. Like I think that's a wasted superpower.
Well,
now.
you could be a fly on the wall in many conversations and hear certain things.
but to what ends?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I think I like living in denial too much.
Oh.
Right? Like, yeah, I don't know what you do with like the action you'd have to take all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like because you would just know that like you're just down a bad path.
Yeah.
Right? Like just say I'm happy at work, but what if I fucking got a concept like, oh, the people have a negative concept of me or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, do I want to work with
True.
these people? And then you're just like way more in your head than I am now.
Yeah, that would suck.
I think it's better to not have any superpower at all.
And just be a regular old boring
That's who we
old
are. Like,
human.
you know what I mean? Like, I think it's too much of a dream to be something other than just regular human. Right? Like, it's a natural human thing to do. We want to be gods or something. And so I think it's just be happy with what you got.
Yeah.
Like, we're gods to fucking people 300 years ago
Oh yeah.
or whatever.
We're
right?
gods to dogs.
We're gods. See, yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean that's fucking hilarious. Gods to dogs. We so that's what I mean. Like it's just always that longing for more.
Mhm.
Like I'm not the generous type of person that wants to heal the world. I'd be like, yeah, it'd be nice to not have to go to hip surgery.
If you could heal other people and yourself, would you travel the world healing people? Would you charge? Would you do it for free? Would you, you could be like the what are those groups? Doctors
Without Borders.
Without Borders.
I think at this point, it'd be like I would assume that I've been around for a while that I would do something like that.
Mhm.
I would think that you would look at some of the injustice of the world that we kind of have to ignore, right? Just like, oh, I hope somebody's taking care of those like Ethiopians,
Yeah.
or so hope they take care of the fucking earthquake and fucking here or there or the other thing, and just fucking move on because I got to pay my mortgage and my TELUS bill and all that other shit. I think I would have gotten over that. Right? I think that by having that kind of superpower, I think just like everything else, you start locally. So you can't fucking heal the world, but you can heal this village or this certain part or, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then just go with that. Like the problem with Invincible is like he's brand new to this thing, so he feels the whole weight of all the world's problems on him, right? And there's like part of the good part of the show is like watching this person, even with like Spider-Man and shit. They use a teenager and a kid, just like, oh, you should use this power, and then they show him fucking his uncle dying because he's just like, you know, I'm out here getting mine. And then, like, you have to use your power when it comes there. And so it just seems like a lot of work. You know, like, I just don't want to have to do it. But by the time you've been around for however long
You're just like, that's what I'm gonna do.
these immortals do,
Yeah.
then you don't get anything else of value other than maybe helping somebody.
I'd probably be a villain.
I'm glad you know who you are. I'd probably be a villain. There's no way I would be a villain.
No,
I don't, like, villains suck.
sometimes.
No, most of the villains are cool.
Magneto's like the greatest.
Listen, Shredder, they're fucking all
Shredder, like, are you serious?
I
Like,
know
come
that the
on,
villains are
man.
fucking all fucking Lex Luger.
Come
fucking,
on.
they have it in them.
Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, but they're tools. They're fucking. Their demise is they're fucking always that they want more or something. Like I don't. The villains never really are satisfied.
No,
Like
and that's me. 7 years, and I'll be like, fuck that. I'll be like, fuck that.
Yeah,
I'll
oh, here
be
we
in
go.
a-
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but why would you be a villain? Just to fuck with people? Like just to be like, because the villain always wants to control the world. That's maybe what it is.
or fix the
the
world.
control. No.
Yeah,
no.
I gotta fix this shit.
Oh, so like Thanos.
Yeah, he
So-
didn't. None of these. A lot of these villains don't think they're doing things wrong. Right?
I think Thanos was a great version of the confliction between like the right, like, you know, where the villain thinks they're doing right.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's again, you get into these. We're no point starting about talking about politics now here or there, but you watch Star Wars and you're with the rebels.
Mm-hmm.
You watch fucking other shit going on in the world, and then you turn the rebels into terrorists.
Yeah.
Right? And then you watch USA get built in like 1776, and they're the rebels. And look at, you know, we're the good rebels because we made
Yep.
America like fuck, like Britain and all that. So Britain was just like all in the bad, but they were just doing what everybody else was doing and conquering the rest of the world. And then they turned into the like they were the power to fight against, right? But they're just like, hey, I thought we were all the same here, and they overstepped their bounds, and so they're righteous because we can see it. We're on that side,
Yeah.
right? Like we do it. I'm not standing up for the fight they're setting, but if you're on the fucking against the rebel, like it's so easy to turn the rebels into terrorists.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like,
For sure.
like that's like, so when you want to be a villain, like when you say that, like it's different than even like a rebel or a terrorist,
Oh yeah.
right? Like
No, I want to be the king.
yeah, see, that's more terrorist action.
Oh yeah, then I'm a terrorist. I'm a terrorist.
Do you have no sympathy for the destruction that you cause?
No, I want to make a perfect community.
So that's where Thanos. Even have you watched the Three Body Problem? On
No, I
Netflix?
haven't watched that yet.
Okay, so it's not bad.
Not
like
bad?
unfortunately, I would never read the
I'm
books.
not watching it then,
Why?
because you said it's not bad.
Well, I liked it. Tammy couldn't care less, but it's got space elements and it's got like a bit of a moral question like this,
Mhm.
right? Like some people. Well, if you're not going to watch it, it doesn't matter what I spoil. But let's just say if people think an alien invasion would help this the human race because they're hopeless,
Mhm.
then they help that. Then they're already giving up on the human race. Would you be a part of that now? Would you say we're fucked without alien intervention?
I mean,
I mean. So
let's be honest. The human race, are we all that great? Like, we do great things, but I mean,
this is a side you're just particularly taking right now because you also like to say like we're humans and we will eventually figure it out.
in our bubble, but in the grand scheme of I just find it weird that all the animals that we think are beneath us do a better job of having a community than us.
Yes, I think that is because of our
Because we're human.
it's
We're
like the
fucked
compassion
up.
that comes with it.
We're fucked up.
But I think we don't have to be as territorial as animals are.
But we are.
Yes, but don't you think that it's better for us to remove some of that?
I mean, yes, but the way that we go about it is not good. Like, they're not animals aren't killing off people because of a race or a religion. Like, you know what I mean?
they
They're
will.
not.
They
It's very basic instincts. It's like strongest survive. It's like they're not hating you because you're you. They don't hate you because you did something to them.
lion, like mama lions and mama bears have to protect their cubs from other
Exact-
males because they'll kill them because they're not theirs.
Exactly.
Like, we don't do
because
shit, but
it's
we-
about strength.
It's in our blood to do that too.
They're not hating because no, I don't like that one because he prays different than me. So you know what? I don't like him. He's like, no, I want my bloodline to go, and I'm strong, so that's what I'm gonna do.
It's baked into it. It's the same baked
It is,
thought.
but we just take it to another level.
Because we don't use the swords and you know what I mean, like guns and fucking hammer or whatever to get power now. But we're still those. That's still how we did it. Like
Yeah.
that's still like part of us. I think the I think it's a growing pain thing again. Like I think it's maybe part of momentum too. The momentum to fucking be sympathetic to fucking people that don't have it and to not exploit. Like it's not on us to put factories in third world countries to get our jeans cheaper and all that. Like we benefit from, we just put that on other people's worth. But the ways to go, and we say, like we look at it from afar and say, oh, they're just doing it for money. They're not in it for the good. And the more that kind of gets exposed, then the less it kind of happens. Maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't really is like for our work team building thing, we can't even get a team together really in a whole shop. Right? How do you get a whole team together? And this is from the alien angle. So in my opinion, right, for us to have this Star Trek-esque type thing, you have to it will take the whole world, right? To be able to get out of our solar system and travel. If we were doing everything together about space as a world, as the Earth, we would have got a lot further. We'd have got a lot further. But because we're not, it makes it harder. So I imagine that if an alien species comes here to invade, it took their whole world, and maybe it took multiple worlds because they got multiple worlds together. And then they come here and they go, "These guys are still fighting with each other. Are you serious? Like, are they from the Stone Age or
We would look-
whatever?" We would look like idiots.
Yeah.
And that's why I say in our bubble, yeah, humans, we do great things.
Good point.
But as a mass things, we're kind of like archaic if we're not evolving in like a togetherness type of a way.
That's a really good explanation of that, and I agree. But I'm trying to recognize us trying to get like in the process of getting out of it.
Yeah.
Like the internet is still like we take it for granted, and we still don't know really what it does.
Yeah.
Right? We still kind of fucking use it as control. It's even more control now than it was before.
For sure.
Right? Like
Way
so
more.
now we're looking for something else. But our little bubble has shrunk so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that we kind of know about other problems like sooner than later.
Yeah.
Like the fucking fact that we can, like I don't know, like I don't think in our lifetime we'll ever recognize the less tribal than we are now. But we don't recognize how less tribal it was, or more like than it was 80 years ago.
That's true.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like I hate the thought of the war that might be going on in Israel and Iran and that whole Middle East thing.
Oh yeah. That's
Right?
getting nuts, man.
Okay, I get it, but I can also have it not affect me.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like
until it does.
Until
Until World War III happens.
Yeah, see, but my faith in humanity and the way that we recognize how. So in the fucking 70s, when this mutually insured destruction thing was like a concept that they fuck us, we'll fuck them. That's already, we know this. We inherently know that we can't let it get that far. I look at that situation and I still see our tribal like instincts on fucking full, 1000%. And I feel sorry for the people that live in the region that aren't allowed to escape that. Like I feel they're stuck even more in the Stone Age than the aliens think our general species is.
Yep.
And I think like I don't know. I don't know if it will ever not happen, but I feel that by that happening, like I can't pick a side. Like I don't know if I have to pick a side.
Are you afraid to pick a side?
No, because I see the right and wrong in both sides.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't have a dog in this fight. This isn't between me and my people, or this is between me and my people as humans.
Yeah.
And so I see humans on both sides. Like I recognize borders and I recognize fucking communities. They're trying to more and more. And I come from a long line of the human side of marginalizing other people that aren't you,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as I got mine, fuck you,
Yeah.
that kind of side. But I don't have to do that anymore. And I reckon when I see this, I see the ultimate situation of that, and I don't have an answer. So if I don't have an answer, I don't feel like fucking throwing my opinions out there.
That's fair.
But you end up having to have opinions, and you see it. So I don't look at it like fucking higher oil prices. I don't look at it like fucking
Conspiracies.
what.
You don't look at the conspiracies of it.
The conspiracy part comes is that it's always since fucking Black Sabbath was fucking singing about it, and the blues, the original fucking like musicians were singing about their situations. It's always power corrupts, and these people in charge never feel the consequences of what their actions are. So the Israeli bosses that want to control that region use fucking hate and history of fear and mongering to somebody else, and the other side uses their message gets lost in the fucking violence that they use.
Yeah.
And that's where you're never going to go. But like I said, nobody fucking cared about all the stormtroopers the fucking Star Wars people killed.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're the rebels. So I recognize that they're the rebels in Star Wars right now. But I'm part of the Western side, so I don't want to be oppressing that anymore. I don't understand why shit can't get figured out.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's beyond me. So somebody purposely is profiting off shit not working out.
Of course.
Hurricane Katrina comes. Nobody expected it. Nobody does it. But somebody knows how to profit off of it.
Yeah.
Somebody knows instead of being a superhero and fixing everything,
Become the villain.
they become, no, they just they fucking, yes, they do to those people.
Yeah.
But they look at it and go, no, this is an opportunity
Yeah.
for me and mine. And we'll just start fixing this part over here. And we'll start fixing this part over here. And we'll do these and that and the other. Because for whatever reason, for profit or for fucking political sway,
Control.
And so that's the ultimate control right now. And I see that. And that's when you say, like, when you've been fucking praising Allah in Saudi Arabia these days, no, but when you say it's because they have the ultimate control, and it shows in their crime statistics and their safety and all that. But we also don't know how much out of the lines we are from their control. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
you're looking at it like you get to be part of that control.
Yeah.
So I look at it like they're the rebels. So I try to, it's the Palestine thing, I try to picture the rebel part of it, but it's really hard to take violence out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, where the conspiracy comes in, it's just like, oh, you've only been showed one side of the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to see the other side of the violence.
Yeah.
And I'm coming from a person that went from growing up, the Vietnam War was still going on. Like I was born in 1970. So, our G.I. Joes were more than a toy.
Yeah.
Right? Like
It's the real deal, man.
I thought, I grew up as a kid thinking I might get drafted.
That's crazy.
Isn't it nuts? Right? Like, so it's always been a thing. But then every documentary, everything you've heard about Vietnam, because we are a free society, and not every conspiracy has been out, but it's like, there was a little bullshit going on here.
Oh, for sure.
Sacrifices were made for people to get power and all this shit. And because we can expose it, we look at that totally different now. Like the idea of going and doing that now is very hard to get everybody on your side.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't need the Western, you know what I mean? So all that kind of going on is I feel they're way behind, they're more in the Stone Age than we are on the thought of war. Not that our people in power, you know what I mean? Whatever they are. So my opinion, I'm not scared to say my opinion, but my opinion is so uneducated. Like my opinion it stops at the human side of it. Like if you really wanted to fucking take care of humanity, like I said, I went from not liking basic like income, you know what I mean? Like paying people welfare, like so easy for me to hate the idea of welfare. But you know what? I'm willing to go build a fire truck and make my money. Like go do whatever you got to do. It doesn't affect me.
True.
This doesn't affect me in a negative way.
Except for your tax dollars.
I hate the people that are doing. That's why the idea of a carbon tax hits me in a negative way. Like this is more of a fucking reason for taxes or to pay more to not exploit anything. Like I don't know how to tie it in like that, but where I definitely can tie it in is this is where my sympathy. I can do something about animals, right? Like it's not that I care more about animals than humans, but it's easier to fucking do something for animals. Like we were at Busch Gardens once, like years ago. We had a orangutan visit, and you're like I know you can recognize the magnificence of this, and you know what I mean. Like you do have some animal love in you in there, but when you're in the presence of this, and you can see them, like it's remarkable. Like you see yourself, you know what I mean. You see a human and a chimp and a orangutan and all that, and then they're saying, yeah, like part of their destruction is palm oil, right? Like the value of palm oil in these third world countries is worth way more than the life of a orangutan tribe.
That's crazy.
And you know what they need palm oil for? Making Kit Kats.
Really?
Making fucking chocolates.
I hate Kit Kats.
Making other things. So you'll see that it's a fucking thing.
Worth.
There's a lot of fucking different. Yeah, fuck you, orangutan. So they're like they don't hammer you over the head with they don't hit you over the head with a hammer, but they're just like, yeah, like this is kind of one of our causes. It's not anywhere close. Palm oil and orangutans are nothing compared to like Hamas and fucking Israel, right?
Yeah.
But I can control. I don't have to buy any Kit Kats anymore.
Yeah.
I've never bought anything that has palm oil. I refuse it.
You refuse to buy it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then once you know that, it becomes a thing, and more people are onto it.
Yeah.
And then it's not that there's not a substitute. It's just that people have been getting rich off of fucking exploiting the palm oil industry. And so I don't have to do that anymore. I can personally change. What can I personally do about fucking the Middle East?
You can go over there and do humanitarian work.
And the problem with that,
and heal other people and yourself.
You've already heard I got to work on myself a little bit more than the other people.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's true. But how do I really make a living doing that?
You don't. You probably end up dying like the was it a Canadian who died over there recently?
Oh shit, yeah, they're doing humanitarian stuff. See, so this is another thing. So then you only see the one side.
Yeah.
And then the conspiracy comes in where, oh, am I just like in this Western bubble where I don't see Israelis committing violence on fucking Palestinians?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, so I don't know. Like, I get confused.
Yeah, and that's the messed up thing, because like it feels like you want to somewhat help in some way or have your opinion. Like I do want to help in some way, but then I'm just like you said, it doesn't affect me. There's too much beef in the world to be trying to solve everything.
If somebody asked me, then I could give my opinion and say it like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate like just getting to voice it out.
Yeah.
So I hear it said instead of just assuming what I think. It's also like you don't really know anything. I'm not gonna like try to tie it in or do something like this, but like OJ died the other day or like last week, right?
He did.
That's a loaded fucking subject right there.
That's a long time beef.
Right? Like that's a big beef. But I remember I don't know how how did you consume the whole OJ experience? Like who is OJ to you?
OJ is the guy who murdered guys, the football player who murdered a guy and a girl, and got away with it. Well, no, I want to amend that. OJ is the guy who was accused of murdering people and was found not guilty.
Okay,
that's what I want to say.
That's all he is to you. And
how much
does race come into OJ's like thought to you?
Well, yeah, he was the black guy who did it, which in a time where it was kind of crazy. I get that. This is where your age is showing just in this one subject, because you're right. Sure.
You're right. You're 100% right. Did you consume the trial at all? Like, where were you in the trial?
I don't remember what year was the trial.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's hard to like. We can Google it.
Yeah, I'll try to Google it. But like, well, you can Google it if you want. Because
I feel like I remember it.
I'm going to say the trial was
wasn't involved.
I'm going to say like the trial was like 90, like mid 90s, like 95, 96.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think it's after Rodney
95.
King.
So it was 95.
Okay,
he was on trial. So that would make me 9.
Yeah. Okay. So this is really why.
Yeah.
It might be a jump to you, but I almost tie it into Rodney King for me. Rodney King, I think, was like 91.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I didn't think the black people got the end of the bad end of the stick. No fucking pun intended. With the fucking police.
Bad end of the baton.
Yeah. I get it. You know what I mean? Like NWA had come out, like, you know what I mean? Like it was almost just whatever, again, just like kind of Palestine and Israel. Like, I'm not black. Like, the instinct for people like me would be like, what, you don't think we get pulled over too? You don't think fucking, you know what I mean? Like this or that. But it's not systemic. It wasn't, you know what I mean? There wasn't the generational thought to it.
Yeah.
It was very a selfish thought. And I'm a kid. So like when Rodney King comes, like I'm 20. And so you see that video, right? And you see it, and it just looks it's gross,
Oh yeah.
right? Like you see the video, and then when they get acquitted, it's in my mind, it's not. I'm surprised, right? Like you shouldn't be because of history. So that's the very first time that like a black person can point to me and say, this happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is on video, the fucking world is watching and they still fucking like they're innocent.
Yeah.
And then the riots happened. And they almost tried to turn the riots it was a time before we were really good at exploiting stuff. So you kind of just saw stuff happening live. And it wasn't presented in a way. It was presented at you. It wasn't editorialized. It wasn't like these people are bad for doing this or this is bad. It was almost a shock to me and people like me and everybody that they got acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you almost feel like why the riots happened. It was almost like I could feel the justification. There's no
For
almost
sure.
about it.
For sure.
You justify why it happened. And it was an awakening. Nothing for me to do, but just like, oh my God, there are two sides of the stories. You know what I mean? I knew not everybody was a criminal. Like me and my friends were criminals. I knew you could never group a group of people as criminals or this or that.
Yeah.
And it started to be like, oh, maybe like there's fucking like that's so fucked up. Like I don't know. It was just some kind of an awakening, and it was so brutal. The worst part of like the riots was when they pulled the guy out of the truck and like fucking. I remember them fucking throwing a brick at his head and just. I, as an angry guy, it's like me looking at Gordon at work and just going, wow. Why is that guy so angry?
Yeah.
Right? Like as an angry person, I love righteousness and fighting power and just like, whoa, this is out of my league. Like I just watched and I kind of just like thought of it in a way. Then a few years later, the OJ comes and it's the race and the police are tied in there for me, right? Like again, I'm an idiot for not knowing this right away, but it was out of my world. And so when OJ was going through the thing and everybody was like kind of seeing this trial of the century, it didn't become a black or white thing or like a black and white thing to me until there was some like, it wasn't, I'm not going to say celebration, but to the only kind of positive outcome in a community that I thought would be like, oh, a rich black guy got off just like a rich white guy usually gets off.
Yeah.
Right. And like, it wasn't like anybody was happy that somebody got away with murder.
Yeah.
I think people were happy that somebody like me got to show how money fucks up the system.
So basically you're saying that you do believe he killed them.
I do believe he killed him. I think you're an idiot to not think he killed him.
He was found innocent.
Yeah, that's how money makes you innocent.
But is it just money?
Yes. It's circumstance. If there's not enough proof, then you shouldn't be found guilty of something.
You think there was enough proof? I don't.
That's
just
fine.
from the documentaries, because I don't remember the trial happening in the moment and whatnot. But just from the documentaries and the shows and whatnot, was there enough proof? They really didn't have enough proof, other than the fact that he ran. What an idiot!
See, I'm putting all the circumstantial evidence in there.
And that's the thing. Can you for something as serious as murder, that's like a lifelong sentence, is circumstance enough? I don't think so.
So this is where my awakening comes in, is like, this is used fucking ultimate times a day, every day, to minorities, to blacks in the South or wherever in the States.
Yeah.
And so the justice of it is just like, oh, it's only because he's so high profile that they couldn't 100% pin it on him.
But it seems like the opposite. I don't know, maybe it's nowadays, it seems like the opposite, that high profile people are attacked. Like it's very rare that when they attack a high profile person about something, it's usually they're going to jail. Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, like we could go down the list, R. Kelly, like we could go down the list of a lot of these people. The guy from Headley in Canada, just got convicted of sexual assault. All these high profile people have not been able to get out of these situations.
I think the OJ thing might have helped that situation.
Okay.
Right? Like it's a example of, if you don't do your due diligence, or like if you're a lazy police, and if you're counting on these old fucking systems to be in place for you to control your power. And this is where I think the celebration of this is how power was controlled over black people, like the black community. And so in that way back then, in this case, it's just like, oh, finally, it's so high profile that this has been going on since like To Kill a Mockingbird, or like, these other fucking trials that are basically like half public knowledge or whatever. And so now finally, like, no, you can't just because you think he did it. I get to say maybe he died, but no, in official court, you actually have to make the fucking whole thing work.
Yeah, because it's somebody's life.
So
right?
now, so if you're a cop with like old racist ties, you know what I mean? Then that's going to get to be shown now.
Exactly.
Like Johnny Cochran isn't a villain.
No.
Johnny Cochran gets to be displayed as the throwing it in your face. Like, yeah, he can even say he is guilty, but you tell me why.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what our laws dictate.
Yeah.
That's what makes us better than Saudi. Saudi wouldn't have even had a trial for OJ, no matter what color he was. He would just be, yeah, we think he's done. He's done. And so I'd rather live in a place like, yeah, we might have got it wrong with OJ, but now we're going to make sure we got Harvey Weinstein down to a fucking letter.
Yeah.
You know what? We think P. Diddy's doing this, but we're not going to fucking go raid his house until, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then you could say, okay, now P. Diddy is an example of the system. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they've always done this kind of thing. And okay, well, do we want to keep doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is. Like, eventually all the new scams will come up, but new ways to exploit people, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, that's not how it goes. But the example is, like, you have to be better at policing.
Yeah.
That was one of the things for the OJ thing.
Yeah.
And it ties in with the Rodney King thing. Like, oh my God, there is a systematic thing here. Like, it doesn't make it go away.
No.
But it makes me realize that something that I wasn't listening to, that people are screaming about. Right now, people are screaming about the fucking sea turtles going into the water. You know what I mean? Like, they're taking all this fucking environmental space away for salamanders.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. Right? But somebody thinks that, like, that's all they live for.
Yeah.
Right? And so
passionate.
they you know what I mean? Like, I get it, right? Like, it's micro it down to our work. I'm just, they're so passionate at work. They want to have these play dates and all. They're like, fuck off. I just don't want to fucking do it. I just want to go and, you know what I mean? Like, it's not you're bad for doing that. It's just like you have to make other people care about it enough to make it like work.
Yeah.
So the salamanders are going to take a lot more work than race relations. And Middle East is going to take even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even our dependency on oil. Like, we could fucking figure that out.
Hey, electric cars are coming, man.
Yeah, but at what end? How many people die in the coltan mines for
We'll
that?
deal with that when that comes up.
Yeah, because we're not living in the coltan mines.
Exactly.
Right?
We're
Like,
buying the cars.
That's what I'm that's part. I can't. So you remember me saying that's part of my the distaste of the electric vehicle.
Of course, but a lot of people die on oil rigs and pipelines.
It's
and
voluntary in my mind.
I mean, they get paid pretty well. So,
But it's another like service indenture. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work to get money, and this is work. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking.
they have to work to get food in the coltan mines, right?
Yeah, I get it. But then, you know, we're living over here on our salaries, and the people making them do it are way better off than we are, and they're giving them fucking a fraction of what we end up getting.
I guess we should have thought of it first then.
So you love exploiting people? Is that what you fucking say?
Listen, so there's other beefs going on. There's other beefs going on.
What other beefs going on? You talking about F1 beefs?
No, I'm talking about the rap beefs.
Rap beefs. You have to explain. See, I'm gonna get so racial on you, but how the fuck? What aren't rap beefs so contrived?
No.
Fuck off. How come there's not rock beefs?
Because rock is not built on the same foundation as rap.
Are we just talking about like fucking Eminem doing fucking rap battling? It's like, what do you mean beefs?
Rap battling is like an essential part of hip hop.
I guess there's no rock battling.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's battle of the bands, I guess, right?
Yeah, but they're all artists. They're like, go out there and do a good job.
Yeah, true. So you like Drake, right?
Bro, I fucking.
Oh my God, you don't like Drake?
He's inconsequential to me.
That's kind of crazy. You know, he's like the biggest star ever right now. Right?
I know.
You know his magnitude, how the magnitude of Drake.
Yes, I know
Okay.
I know of Drake.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Drake.
Do you know Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, I have actually more knowledge of Kendrick, but not like I know of Kendrick Lamar.
You've listened to both their music.
Yes.
Well, obviously you can't not listen to.
I've
Drake's
heard,
music.
but I don't own any of their songs.
Okay. Well, they're in a somewhat beef that's been going on for. So hip hop, they basically they consider rap beef sparring. It's like a sport to them.
Okay.
Who puts out the better diss track? The whole Nas and Jay-Z beef, the Biggie and Tupac beef, and there's been lots and lots of other beefs. Not as high profile as this is like Nas and Jay-Z level beef.
Okay.
And so it's been going on for years, but it's really come to a head in the past couple weeks. So it's just been getting.
So you believe
crazy.
every word that you hear about it? Do you think it's a legit beef?
Yes, I think it's a legit beef at this point because it's been, if you've listened to all these people's songs, they've been throwing shots at each other about this stuff. First, it was like, because it's like, who's the best? But then people start having problems behind the scenes. And so that kind of stuff starts coming out, right?
Do you like it?
Of course, I love rap beefs. I love hearing, because that's when people, I feel like they really get most creative when they start doing this kind of
That's
stuff.
for sure. That has to happen.
So it's just really, we haven't had a big one in a long time in hip hop.
So does there always have to be one? Was Biggie and Tupac the first that you can
that's
think
like
of?
NWA and Ice Cube. That was like one of the first.
So I have I loved Ice Cube and NWA,
Yeah.
but I never knew of the beef.
Oh yeah,
I love Nas. I know nothing of Jay-Z. I know you hate that.
Oh my god!
But I love Nas, and I could never tell you that he had any opinion of Jay-Z.
What?
Like, I never watch interviews. I never hear anything. I listen to the beats. I listen to the music.
They made diss tracks to each other
Yeah.
on their albums.
I only read about it.
Holy!
Like, I don't live in it. It doesn't make any
crazy.
sense to me. That's why. But so in hockey, a young fucking tough guy will have to fight the established. He wants to fight the established tough guy to get his name recognized, right? Like, he's kind of I want to fucking show the world I can beat you up, or that I'm not scared to fucking beef with you and fight with you.
That happens sometimes. That's like when 50 Cent came out and he was beefing with Ja Rule. He was he was coming into the game and then he just started going at Ja Rule, and that was like a whole beef thing. That was a good one too.
The only thing I like, one Ja Rule song, and it's Smoking and Riding, and the only thing I know about Ja Rule other than that is that No Shack Life doesn't like him.
He doesn't like
So
him.
that makes me laugh so hard.
That was so funny.
And that No Shack Life guy, he went from my knowing him from just commenting on old rock and roll songs to he makes his living off of commenting on the beefs.
So he's loving this rap
Of
beef
course.
right now. He is loving it.
I haven't watched him in a long time.
Yeah.
But I know that he's like living in that lane now. Like, I've seen the thumbnails of all the people coming at Eminem.
Yeah.
So I feel like on the sidelines that people use Drake and Eminem in a way, but like this one as going after the resident tough guy in the NFL or NHL.
Yeah, it's not so much tough guy, but this is right now like the Ovechkin Sidney Crosby thing.
Well, you
They
try
both-
to make a name of yourself off of Drake.
Yes, and
Not
that's
that
what they're
Kendrick Lamar
saying.
needs to do that.
No, but Kendrick Lamar is pretty substantial. But no, there's never been a rapper who has had a career this long as Drake. Drake is the person who's had this longest rap career at this level. He's been doing this forever. So he's basically untouchable at this point. So I feel like, and not only is Kendrick Lamar dissing him, he's dissing him with other people who used to be friends with Drake. So like there's like Future, there's like Rick Ross, there's like a lot of these people. They made like a whole album.
Yeah, I heard
called
that.
We
something
Don't
like that.
Trust You, and it's directed at just Drake basically.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, so, like, without Drake, they'd have nothing. Not saying they're on their own, they couldn't make anything. But
Yeah.
now they're using him as their material.
And that's what he's saying. He's like, you guys obviously just need to think. But it's kind of weird because Rick Ross doesn't really rap anymore. He's very successful. He owns like restaurants and a whole bunch of shit. So like, what's he really gonna gain from this? Future is a pretty big hip hop star. Like a lot of people recognize Future as like probably top 5 right now. Kendrick Lamar is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
So it's
he's
just
Drake
like,
level, man.
it's like almost Drake level. But like, yes, he is up there. He's considered top 3. People always have him in the thing. So it's just like, what's really going on? And a lot of stuff are starting to surface. Like Drake is like being shady business deals behind the scenes. And like he's like invested in a company that owns like a lot of people's record deals, and they don't trust him because of that. Like he's banging everybody's girlfriends and shit. So,
that's probably what it gets down
So,
to. Is
like,
he can
that's
fuck
what-
all their girlfriends.
that's what a lot of this shit's going on. But to be honest, I don't really care anymore because the music coming out is so like great.
That's a great point.
Drake's diss track was like so like if you meet a lot of like straight Toronto people, it's so Toronto. Even though Drake's like this lover boy, but like a lot of straight Toronto people aren't taking your shit. They're just like, what are you talking about? Fine, let's have this. And that's what I like about it.
Oh, I get it.
And then the artistry, you have to be clever enough to do it and to make it work for it to be worth it. That, hey,
That's a great
I'm
point,
here
bro.
for it. I'm here for it, man.
That's a great point because it brings out that creativity. That's
Exactly.
I like it. It's like they have like this comedy roast battle.
Yeah,
and it's not
exactly.
It's not so much how mean you are. It's all that, but how personal you get. And the best roasters, you roasted me, you make me laugh.
Yeah.
You fucking say, oh man, you got me, man,
Yeah.
you got me. So the manufactured part is, I think there's more of that. You got me than real hatred.
Yeah, I don't think there's much hatred. I mean, not at this level, anyways. That, like, you're already making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Are they? That's what I think they're living off when it might have really been hatred, like
Yeah.
with fucking Biggie and Tupac and all that.
Yeah, there are other rap beats that like end in like death and stuff.
But that's why I'm bringing that
Recently,
the ultimate
but they're
one.
not like this level.
I think I understand a little bit more now.
So you're gonna listen to the diss tracks?
I haven't listened to any of it. I
You
don't know
J. Cole.
only of name. I don't
Oh,
know exactly.
He's
who-
also one of the best rappers right now.
yeah.
And he was in this beef too, but then he did a diss track and then he apologized. So which was
That's hilarious.
gay,
What the
which
fuck is
who
that?
does that? And he's
Oh, he apologized.
in terms of writing like
An apology?
rhymes. Well, yeah, in terms of writing rhymes, he's probably, I would say he's better than Drake and Kendrick Lamar, honestly. But
Interesting.
he's the one person. He's probably my favorite rapper out of the three, and I was so disappointed. How
You're
do you
disappointed that he apologized?
apologize? Like, I want to hear music. Shut up with this apology shit.
Was the apology in a song?
No,
It was just a note?
He has a yearly festival called Dreamville, and it's like massive. It's kind of like Veld or like, what's the other, festivals like Coachella.
I understand that
It's like
one.
Coachella-esque.
Yeah.
So there's like
Fire
thousands
festival?
and thousands of people, Fire Festival, people that go there, and like a lot of big artists go there. It's like 3 days as well. And he apologized on stage. I was like, what the fuck is this? I turned that shit off. I'm like, I don't want to hear this crap.
So
I want to
you're-
hear music.
You're feeding into the fucking thing.
Yeah, I love rap beats when it's this big.
I think I would have been more impressed if he apologized in a song because that would have been so different.
Yeah, but fuck
In a rap.
that.
Why? So it always has to be the same old?
Yes.
That's what makes me feel more. That feels authentic.
No,
Rap beefs usually feel like I said, other people just piling on.
it's like no, because rap is really, they consider it a sport. So if somebody's telling you
All right.
I'm better than you, I'm the best in the world, and you're gonna be like, okay, then I'm gonna show you why I'm the best. I'm gonna score 50 goals. I'm gonna
Okay.
score like 135 points a game for a whole season, right? So these people are telling you that I'm better than you, and you guys are in this conversation of top 3 best rappers right now, and you don't do that and you apologize, and you're not, come on,
You
man.
have to listen to this. You have to listen to hip hop as a sport.
You don't, but when the rap beefs come around, it's just part of it. It's just part
I don't
of it.
think art is like so. I
That's
mostly
why
agree
rap
with
is
you.
unique.
That's true. I guess that can be part of it. But it diminishes. I can see it adding to the art, but the fact that you're not willing to take a fucking an apology, you know what I mean? Like it makes it feel like
If somebody-
it can't be. You know what I mean? Like
If
it's just,
somebody disses you and you diss them back and then you apologize, I'm not taking that. If I dissed you and then I apologize for dissing you, that's different. But if I dissed you and you dissed me, Jay, and then you came back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to diss you." I'm
what if
like,
I overstepped? What if I just like you know what I was feeling upset, and the problem is whatever you're dissing me at, I might just get upset at what part of the truth might be there.
Well, he said it didn't sit well with his soul and he couldn't sleep. So whatever, I'll take that. Whatever, you can have that shit.
You're not impressed.
I'm not impressed because I wanted to hear the music. Like I want to see Ovechkin score a double hat trick when Sidney Crosby tells him, "I just scored a hat trick. What are you doing?" Okay, I'll score a double hat trick. Okay, fine, let's go.
You're right. It must be a hip hop unique thing because I don't equate that with music. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I mean?
doesn't
Like I don't equate
exist.
that with movies.
Yeah,
I don't equate it with TV shows.
yeah,
Like I don't watch award shows to watch them all fucking jerk off on each other, but that's all
Yeah.
they're doing. Like it's just like, hey, good job by you. You know,
Yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
I don't need Better Call Saul battling The Sopranos.
yeah.
I need to just like if somebody asks me my opinion, then I might have to think about it. But it's in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I can say I like Better Call Saul better, and then I watch 10 Sopranos in a row. I go, God damn,
Yeah.
really? And then so it's just my opinion matters, but it's just like it's art. It's so subjective. But the beef part comes in. It's just, and again, why like it's why what makes wrestling good and what makes wrestling bullshit. Like, you really think fucking Hulk Hogan fucking hates fucking this guy or whatever it is?
No.
It's just like no. But it's pretty entertaining if you do let yourself believe.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm finding it. You're letting you're not like my initial response is, I'm letting myself really fucking think these guys are not liking each other without like realizing like that sports entertainment, just like wrestling, like it's making rap fucking like a sports entertainment field.
But that's where rap separates itself from.
I get it.
A lot of other rap is really the foundation of rap is competitive and speaking the truth. That's not really prevalent in all other music. Like NWA came out saying, like you said, look, this shit's fuck the police because this shit, they've been doing this shit to us. So rap is all about speaking what really happened. So when people have beefs, especially there's been so many beefs that rappers have died. They've got shot because they're in this beef with other rappers, and then shit just happens and they die. They may not be super popular, but they're on their way up. And so like these kind of things, because there are a lot of people from the same city, and when especially if they're gangster rappers and they've been dealing in the hood and they're selling drugs, they've already grown up as being competitors. And so a lot of their beefs come from just being around each other.
That is like, that seems more genuine.
That's,
like that when you're big, when you're Kendrick Lamar and Drake,
It becomes
I find you're
business
fucking
beef.
you're resting on the drug fights of fucking South Philly.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like you're exploiting where the real fucking beefs are.
Well, Kendrick Lamar's from Compton.
I'm not like, I get it. Like I don't, you know what I
I
mean?
know
Like,
what you mean, but like at that point, yeah, I would just imagine it's like a business beef, not like a hood beef. That's what I think it is.
see, okay, go ahead.
Because there's obviously we can't explain it all, but there's just been if you were watching the hip hop thing from the beginning, then you would see like how certain things happen. Like Future, for example, had an album with Drake, and then they had beef because he didn't make a second one. He made it with somebody else from Atlanta, and then it just kept snowballing. And then eventually they're just like, oh, now you're doing this, now you're doing that, and now you're doing this. Hey, fuck that. You're fucking my girl. You're fucking my girl. You're fucking my girlfriend's sister. What are
I
you
guess,
doing?
yeah, you might as well make a song out of that, I guess.
So they just end up saying like you're shit.
So there must be examples of people that aren't good at this that
Yes.
also are there are bullshit beefs out there.
Yeah.
Like then they make bullshit art out of it and they fucking, it's not worth your time.
Yeah.
Like, there must be pretenders to this, like exploiting this kind of line of
I imagine so. None of those are ever big though.
they don't make it, eh? Like there's no fakers. I guess that's another part of the hip hop thing is just like we hate inauthentic, like if you're not authentic.
Exactly.
Right? And like it's just like it's not all from that. Like what you're saying is the best example is two authentic artists actually doing this, and it
Yeah.
brings out the really best of it.
Yeah.
No, I can like figure examples of it, but not living in the world, it just seems that kind of fake to me. But yeah, you did a really good explanation of it.
Yeah.
It seemed very tribal. Like I'm not fucking bringing it all the way back to the Middle East or all that, but that's where it seems like you are on this guy's side or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? You fucking
It
feel
really-
this way or you feel that way.
It
Or you
really
don't.
gets to that point.
Do you see it? Like it's hard for you to see as somebody like me who's not in the world, who doesn't care, but eventually just hears these songs, whichever one becomes popular,
Yeah.
and then just has a idea of what might be going on, and then has to form opinion on that, and then will have an uneducated opinion on it.
Yeah.
Like if they stick to it, then that could be annoying. But that's a large percentage of the world, I think. You don't have to interact with them or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be like if I came to you and go, oh, this fucking Future guy's fucked.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I'll be, because you have the whole history of it or whatever.
And that's like the nature of hip hop. These guys are just always things start to bubble up.
Can you appreciate that hip hop doesn't give that to me? I don't know if appreciate is the word. Because I loved hip hop from way back. I even when I had to pretend I didn't like any fucking Michael Jacksons or fucking Rick James, all that shit. Like it really like spoke to me. Like I love a good beat if I can dance to it without my bad hip. And when the NWA comes on, it's almost like this Rodney King and fucking OJ thing. It's just like, oh yeah, it's easy to be on the fuck the police team,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh,
I don't
for
want to
sure.
just defund the police. You know what I mean? I knew, like it's just like fuck the police for fucking South Central LA. Like I can see this fucking like it's without that I never would have been able to appreciate that side, right? Like I don't know what other art would have been able to show me in that way. That's why you can't censor music.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I agree, man.
NWA, I like this is like I said, like I said, like I need to hear what they're going to say, even if there's some stuff that's like a little theatrical or whatever. And I can appreciate fucking Ice Cube in the fucking Daddy's Got to Go fucking movie now compared to who he was in fucking 91.
Yep.
Like he grew, he didn't fucking sell out.
Exactly.
His message was never not seen. Even to go to like he's in this big like Big Three, like this fucking he makes money off of it, but he's just like giving basketball players another place to play.
Yeah.
Like there's always like a good in it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I need to kind of see that kind of stuff. So this is why I hate any kind of censorship. It would be easy to fucking say, yeah, these are gangster rap. Like you shouldn't listen to it. And it's just like it gets to fall into this uncensored like category. And it's just like, yeah, explain to your friends, yeah, this is why. Or explain to your kids, like this is, you know what I mean? Don't go around fucking saying fuck the police to all the police, but this is just a message. This is a general art. Don't live your life by fuck the police.
Yeah.
But live your life like, yeah, this is, you know what I mean? Like just
They do
like,
fucked up shit, man.
know the police.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's right and wrong, like not wrong, but it's just like it needs to be said.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to censor anything. Like that's what I mean. Like now it's social media and now it's exploited in a million different ways. But you go from when like in the 20s or 30s or whatever, fucking when you couldn't say that you had black artists on your jazz album
Yeah. Right.
to NWA, right? Like they're the furthest thing from them. But without them, then we never, you know what I mean? Then we never would have known that the real fucking artists on that record.
Yeah.
And now we get to do it. The powers get to exploit it all for fucking their own personal gain without more education being known. So with the internet now, yes, it's fucking scary. Yes,
yeah.
like how do you fucking stop your kids from thinking they have to be as beautiful as a Kardashian or fucking whatever? Just like it's all on, like it's the world now.
Yeah.
Don't hide it from them. So I get it. Like it's as far from a rap beef. Like that's just fucking, you know, makes it just more funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it enhances the art in an art way. But like, and it's actually it's some kind of blessing where that's the new message that they have. Like it's not so much like fuck the police. We've heard that and done that.
Yeah.
And then it comes to like a different movement or like something in a way like just like fuck Wall Street. Like the 1% and Occupy Wall Street. Just like, yeah, you guys are
Exactly.
fucking dirty hippies. Like, get a job.
Yeah.
But like, you know what? They got a point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, how come 1% owns the fucking world?
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's harder to fucking turn around than fucking fuck the LA police. Maybe, you know what I mean? Not for the
Yeah.
people living in that, like for us as a global thing.
What's the next issue?
So these issues have gone from being so local, like, you know, to South Central LA, to the fucking Middle East, to now we've been aware of them for a while. And it's just like, it's like I can still not pick a side, but it's not like I'm not aware. And it's not like ultimately, like I can choose, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Like I said, it's easier when it comes to the animals. Like, okay, fuck palm oil.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I have to do to like fuck Israel or fuck Palestine. You know what I mean? I can just like, yeah, I feel for both of you. You know, like whatever. If somebody wants to attack me for not being on their side for that shows me that they're just not willing to have any kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They're never going to get off their point.
Yeah.
And but that's the voice on, you know what I mean, on the internet.
Yeah.
But it's only a voice, right? Like so you can go back and forth on it. So I mean, I don't know. This is a little bit off. And if you want to say more about this kind of fucking shit,
You
I
should
don't know.
listen to the rap beef.
You should. So can you send me the fuck however it started?
Oh God.
No, this one. So
This
the Drake,
one?
the Drake
Yeah.
and Kendrick Lamar.
I will send.
You don't
I'll
have to send me the
you.
beginning of rap beefs in general.
Just not this rap.
Send me the
beef.
the beginning of the fucking whatever Drake and Lamar fucking
Okay.
whatever their beef is.
Okay.
You have to show me how it started.
God. All right.
Well, how else am I going to know?
I don't know because I'd have to go. It's been like 5 years they've been doing this.
I don't need to know. Okay, well, you have to figure out a way.
I'm just gonna tell you
to
what.
introduce
I'm
it to
gonna
me.
send you what it happened recently, and then I'll just.
I can go
tell
down my
you-
own rabbit hole. Maybe.
Yeah, I could just tell you that they've been throwing shots on songs at each other, underhanded. This is the first time they've been calling out names. So I will send you 3 songs because Kendrick Lamar has not responded. So
send me the songs with the like. Are you gonna send me YouTube or just the songs?
I can. Yeah, I'll just send it on YouTube. Drake's it'll be harder to find because he didn't put it on streaming platforms. He's not monetizing from it. So
that makes him actually the true winner.
yeah, like he's the only
He's
one.
doing it for the real
just,
fuck. He's just doing it for the emotions.
Yeah, he's just like fuck you guys. But I mean, he has money, so
I think maybe part of it is an age thing. I'm not saying like I'm just like it's like given. I think if you've fucking seen a bunch of shit for a while,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, like was comparing this to fucking 90s rap beefs. So
Yeah.
how fucking old do I sound? One of the easiest things to get like tribal is like sports.
yeah.
And so like playoffs are starting right now. And one of my fears are that my heart has been so broken by the Leafs.
Oh, I was gonna say he's gonna talk about the Leafs.
Yeah, it's so fucking often that if they eventually win in my lifetime, that my heart has been taken out of it because I don't like being my heart broken every fucking year.
yeah.
That I just like I can't. I'm not watching the game as soon as it starts at 7. Like I can't. I'm not sitting there with my bag of chips and my fucking joint
What?
because
Not
I've
even
been doing
this
that.
season.
I haven't done it for years.
But this season.
Yeah, this will be different.
Fucking
I
good.
have. This will be different. Yeah, they're only playing Boston again.
Right?
Like I've been traumatized when they've been up 4-1
Yeah.
in fucking 2013 or 11,
Yep.
and they lost the lead, and they've never been able to get it back since.
But that's not this team.
Of course. So I have to protect myself.
No, there's no protection. Go all in, Jay. If you go all in, and when they win the cup, oh god, I can't believe I said that. You are gonna feel so much better.
But I might have already. So my fear is that I'm fooling myself because I still do care.
Yeah.
But I don't care like my 21-year-old self cared. I don't care like my 31-year-old. I don't even care like my fucking 41-year-old
Jeez.
self cared. Because look at that. I just talked about fucking 30 years.
Okay, but did this season not get you excited?
Aspects of it did, but not like the 21-year-old. Like I
What seed did they finish in?
third in their division.
God damn.
Yeah, like there's so many other, and they're playing Boston coming up.
Damn.
I want them to win, but I'm not hanging all my hopes on them.
Fair.
But the problem is they're going to get me. Like, do you
think-
remember when I got tickets from work and I left the fucking playoff game
Yep.
and then I'm having to watch from the thing?
Yep.
Like, I'm fucking such an idiot to fucking to try to figure this out. You know what I mean? There is no way. Like, the only way is to just go with your heart and live in the sadness when they fucking let you down. And it's like how I try to protect myself from any kind of fucking letdown in the world. It's like the fire truck. Like, hey, you can't get upset about not being able to do something if you don't even try. You the same getting fat. Hey, you don't have to work. You don't even have to try. So don't even try to fucking cheer for this team anymore.
Oh wow.
No, it's there, but like
I know, that's
you
the
know my
voice.
full fucking heart.
For sure.
Like it just go and so it's really like I recognize that I as much as I try, like I can bet on the other team, I can fucking do it, but my heart it really can't go all the way there. Like I'm never not going to be a Leaf fan
Yeah.
or want it, but I think the heartbreak of never mind my whole life, the recent 15 years of the failed like the heartbreak that's come with that has left me scarred, bro.
I hear that.
Like scarred. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't mean nothing, but they want you to put your whole heart into it, and I'm jaded. Like, you know what? It's because of success. Like, I was a young man when the Jays won. Like, I was 21, 22, and fucking, I'll never not appreciate for them that. I'll never not love the Raptors more than anything for them winning like a couple years, like in 19, because I lived it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I was a bandwagon jumper for fucking both. Like the Leafs, like I'm trying to jump off, but
You
my
can't
fucking
do it?
soul is still there, and I'm trying to say the things that are like protecting me from it,
Mhm.
and it's just like fucking so. Like what I can only do is just like, well, what I can do is just like so, because I don't drink beer like during the week now and anymore or whatever. Like when I first did this, like when the playoffs come, that might be a different story
When does the playoffs start?
on Saturday.
And you're going to sit there with your beer.
Yes.
You're gonna-
So Saturday's easy. Saturday I could definitely
Yeah,
start.
it is the weekend.
So say Monday. Monday comes, they start at 7. I don't usually get home. So my normal Mondays, I get home at like 6:30 and I work out for like 45 minutes and then I fucking help prep dinner and I don't eat dinner till 8.
Mhm.
Right? I'm not ready to fucking sit down and eat dinner till 8. But the game starts at 7.
That's perfect.
So what I've done the last couple years when I was in this groove, because usually by this time I've gotten over my New Year's fucking shit. Like I'm starting to be in some kind of momentum thing. Is I'll just do my normal thing and I'll watch the game at 8:00. I won't fucking be there with my fucking beer and my fucking
That's
chips.
perfect though. The game's in full swing at that point.
Yeah, but that's not a real fan.
Oh, come on, Jay.
Is it a real fan?
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's this fan, but it's not like the
It's
fan
a
I was
real
at 21.
fan. It's a real
At
fan.
21, I was going to the bar or going to my friend's house.
At 21, you had more time on your
Okay,
hands.
so we'll give that. But I'm going with a mental attitude. I'm going like fucking like, okay, here we go. They got it this year. Like a lot of bees, like maybe they could beat Boston
You're right.
again.
I did wake up this morning to watch the sprint qualifying. So
So this is what I'm getting. Like we're going to see this like tribal. Like
yeah,
you don't. Okay, so how much does it hurt you when Lewis doesn't win every race?
now
Yeah,
not much. I'm just like fuck. Like come on. Like
is he still your favorite driver?
yeah, but I have other favorites. So.
Yeah, so you're doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like the Leafs, but look at Connor McDavid. Those Edmonton Oilers. They really know how to drive.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, he's going to Ferrari next year, so he's gonna be great." And I'm like, "Yeah," but realistically,
When fucking Lewis lets Russell pass him on the track,
I
it
like
made
Russell.
me feel a certain way.
I like Russell.
So it didn't fucking like it didn't like
It
drag
just
you
made
down a
me-
little
It just
bit.
made me think that he's given up on Mercedes.
Yeah, so he's now the B driver of Mercedes.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, take it and go.
So this is a lost year for you, basically, with
Basically,
your
yeah.
favorite driver. So you've had to manufacture a new fandom for somebody else.
Oh yeah, Yuki Tsunoda, freaking.
well, that's a deep dive.
I love Yuki.
Of
man.
course, everybody. Who's you don't like Yuki? You're a fucking
Right?
fool.
I love
But he's not
Yuki.
winning shit.
He's not, but if he ever gets a Red Bull seat, I think he's gonna be. He's a good driver, so I think he'd be doing.
You think
good
he might get the
things.
next Red Bull seat?
That's my suspicion.
Because he's so pop. It would be very smart of them to do that.
Right?
But they're not willing. No disrespect, Yuki, to have not an A+ driver.
He's better than freaking Checo.
Would they not rather have Alfonso?
He's already tied up
Alonso, I
in a
mean?
contract.
Sorry,
now.
Alonso?
He's tied up in a
Oh,
contract.
because he made a
now.
new contract. But the one of the rumors was that Alonso might
Yeah.
go there.
But now he signed a 2-year. So
So this is very inside, and that's you. So you get it. Like
Oh,
racing
yeah.
is a little different because you know what I mean. Like you're fighting the fucking manufacturers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Like you're fighting all these other
it's
things.
more
So,
than just a man.
so I've won some bets on F1 this year.
Yeah.
Like I've made 2 bets for each race. We'll go the last 3 races of the that's happened so far. I'm doing better than I did last year. You know what the difference between this year and last year is? I haven't asked your opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't asked your opinion.
And you've been
I'm
winning.
sorry, bro, but I haven't asked your opinion. I am fucking lost in this one. This is like before we go. Nobody's going to give a shit about this.
Yeah.
This race is in China, and
Bet on Lewis to be on the podium for the sprint race.
Okay, I can do that.
Do that.
So I've heard that the track is so unknown because they haven't been there for a while,
And it's
they got this-
newly painted, so
new
everybody's
surface.
sliding all over the place. It's
yeah,
nuts.
so it's very hard for me to bet this one because there's a lot of unknowns.
yeah.
And you gave me some advice before I could even ask for it because now I'm like, fuck, I've done good without his advice.
Yeah, you should. Maybe you shouldn't take it.
No, I've asked.
I'm not a good gambler, man.
It's my money, so it's fine. So you don't have to worry about that. It's your opinion that matters. Like, so you watched all the qualifying shit. You
Yeah.
watched all the stuff.
Yeah,
When it's so far away on the other side of the world, it's really hard for me to like keep up with it. Excuse me. Even in my fucking stupid Bell fucking thing, it's like it shows like at 2 a.m, like a qualifying when
Yeah.
that's probably where the sprint is. I think 2 a.m. is when the sprint is, and then at 9 a.m. here is when they do qualifying
you're talking about qualifying for the
for the
race?
Sunday race
Yeah,
or whatever. So
the
that's
sprint,
what.
the sprint was at. No, the sprint.
First they do the
sprint
sprint.
is at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be blindly betting this, and so I'm
Oh,
not probably
man.
going to put on as much. as I
Actually, you know
usually
what?
do.
Don't put Lewis on the podium.
Why? You were so gung ho right there.
He only got on the podium because it was wet. I think it's going to be. So you saw the results?
No, I saw the results.
Yes,
Yeah, I know that. Like,
so-
I don't know where Max. I know it's Lando and Hamilton on the pole on first
Yeah.
and second.
I think it's gonna. Verstappen's gonna get on the podium.
Is it
If
like a
it's
hard
not
track to
wet.
pass on?
No, it's an easy track to pass on. It's just that it's slippery, and that's the main issue. And I don't have any trust in that freaking car.
You're pointing to your Lego car.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we gotta get my heart out. It's
Oh,
this
yes.
thing. We might be touch on Lego fucking next week for some reason, but it's not like I'm out of love, but I've lost a little bit of the spark for Lego.
Yeah, me too.
We've tried and we just didn't. We built some last week, and I don't know if it's just because it's the Sesame Street thing we got like a long time ago, and it's gay to be building, but it's the nostalgic piece. It's like fucking Tammy wanted, and so her eyes were feeling better, and we started it, and we're just like we just never got into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, we're like on the Home Alone house too. We haven't touched it in weeks.
And I feel bad because I told you that was like my favorite build to build, and then you
But
stopped building it.
I like building. I just don't think that we're just like you said. I'm kind of Lego burnt out. We did a bunch of Lego this year already, and now, but it's good because that shit's expensive, man.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the things. I haven't looked when
Yeah.
he was hearing Kevin talk about the stock market shit. Like I remember living in that world for just a little bit.
Yeah,
And now I'm like so far out of it. That world hasn't gone away. I've just gone away from it.
yeah. So I
All
don't
right,
know.
I'm glad to hear we're on the
See,
same page on that.
we're on
Well,
the same page.
we'll see next week if your bet on telling me to bet it all on Lewis to win the race
To win
will
the
come
race.
true. I want to thank everybody for
Yep.
listening to the Work Related Podcast.
That's related by work on X.
Thanks, Dan Go, and the Spooky Natural Podcast.
Van Go.
And we'll talk to some more next week.